ke yang kelima, Nakib.
I give my heart.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you so much.
please make some noise for
Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to our lecturer, Madam Nurhayu binti Yusof. So today we are going to present our financial accounting and reporting episode, Covership or Partnership Business of Sagohearty. So this is my team members. Number 1 is Amisha Antasha binti Hilmi Syahril. Number 2 is Muhammad Zulfaqar bin Nordin. Number 3 is Muhammad Zikri bin Muhammad Zaini. Number 4 is Nur Izzati Diana binti Muhammad Sharif. And the last one is Nur Al-Hanis bin Zulfaqar. Next, this is our purpose of this presentation. We will introduce about introduction, breakdown of the business characteristic. Number 4 is classification of the business. Number 5 is revenue process of the business. Number 6, the strength and weaknesses of the recording. And the last one is our conclusion. Next, we will proceed with the introduction. Hi, my name is Nur Al-Hanis bin Zulfaqar. Now I will proceed with the introduction. So this Sagohearty company is a sole proprietorship. So it was founded by Muhammad Nakib Haziq in 2019. The name of Sagohearty were inspired by the tea life name. So the tea means like tea and life is like our life. So it same goes to the Sagohearty. Sagu means Sagu Gulnaka and Hearty is our heart. So it combined with Sagohearty. Okay. The food and beverage company selling sagu based dessert. They were selling 5 flavors of sagu gula melaka, which is original pandan, mango, lychee, and chocolate. So, he was started with only 100 ringgit from fundraising that he got from his team, which is their employee now. So the business were running online during the PKP. So they will proceed the order like 1 day before. So and collect all the orders and will be post for the next day. So right now they were focusing more on offline, which is retail. So they have been supplied their dessert at 5 cafe around Bandar Baru Bangi area. Sagohearty is based at Bangi and he also recruit agent from this area. But currently there are only 6 agents that are actively sell his product. And for the agent, they also have MOQ. Okay, the MOQ for agent, they need to take at least 20 cups per order. Okay, and you can mix all together. They will call as a combo mix cup. Okay. Now I will pass to my next team members.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Izzati Diana binti Muhammad Sharif. Now I will continue in order to explain about business background. Alright, the name for the company is Sagohearty. They was established since 2018 and they have been starting their journey at Bandar Seri Putra Kajang, and now they have expanded to a few other places, which is at MSU Shah Alam and also a few in area Kajang. And they are the pioneers in Malaysia that invented the best quality of sagu gula melaka around Malaysia. Alright, so the business activity that Sagohearty have been doing so far is such as like supply to retail outlet. They have been doing for online COD, which is cash on delivery, and they also have been joining few events such as like booth. They have been joining expo and also wedding ceremonies. Alright, so now I will touch about capital contribution. So in order to increase the equity capital and to improve the liquidity, the owner has used his own financial resources and also his own material into his company, which is Sagohearty, where he started out with only 100 ringgit Malaysia at the beginning of his journey. And after that, they will rolling their sales income in order to generate more sales. And after that, they also have been received a few financial help from Islamic Bank, which is he's joining a pitching competition and then he got selected to top 20 and he received a fund which is RM 8,000 ringgit, and then he started to join a Success 4.0 and which is hosted by Fatah Amin, which is sponsored by Astro Awani, and then he received a grant which is up to 2,000 ringgit, which is for the consolation prize. And latest one, he's doing a collaboration with Dato' Roshamno for Usaha Nita. Alright, now I will proceed about business characteristic. The first step in order for Sagohearty to open up their business is they will register for register for the company. So they will start first register for SSM. So he's as the owner for Sagohearty, which is a sole proprietor. So he should be registered the business no later than 30 days from the date of commencement of the business. And not to forget, he will register for enterprise, and the last one is register for my IPO for branding security. Right. So in addition, the capital that company use is working capital, where they are doing a day by day transaction with supplier. So all the profit is rolling to account, saving account, asset, or paid over the liability. Furthermore, Sagohearty is a link up between online and also offline channels, which can get most of the market of Sago lovers and can be emphasized and repetition of buyer for consumer. Alright, and last but not least, in terms of liability, as a sole proprietor, they have an unlimited liability and are legally responsible for all debts against the company. And the main reason why the owner of the Sagohearty choose self-proprietorship when he knows that his business and his personal asset are at risk is because of sole proprietorship has its own pros and his own cons, right? And the owner can get used to the pattern of his business in sole proprietorship because of the startup cost of lower capital. Own the margin 100%, and he's have the maximum privacy. And the last one, only he knows about the company's SWOT. And lastly, in order to keep tracking their sales of goods, Sagohearty record all their transaction into a bookkeeping, and they've been using website application, and they will update their database in Excel. And the last one is they will using a receipt journal to keep tracking of the transaction. Alright, so that's all from me for the business characteristic. Thank you so much, and now I will pass to my friend Zul. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Zulwakar bin Nordin, and I will present on the business classification for our selected company, which is Sagohearty Enterprise. Business can be classified into 5 accounts, which is the asset, liabilities, owner's equities, revenues, and expenses. The first one is asset. There are 2 types of asset. First is non-current asset. Second one is current asset. For non-current asset, useful life is more than 1 year. It is not used for resale, and the use is for daily operation of the business. For current asset, the useful life is less than a year, easily converted into cash, and easily changing form to inventory, cash bank, and account receivable. Non-current asset. There are 3 types of non-current asset, which is intangible non-current asset, tangible non-current asset, and investment. Intangible non-current asset is an asset which we cannot see and we cannot touch. For tangible current asset is an asset which we can see and we can touch. An example for Sagohearty, their brands and trademark. Franchise also can be considered as their intangible non-current asset. For tangible non-current asset, their freezers and kitchen equipment are the example for the tangible non-current asset. Lastly, the investment. Sagohearty does not have any account on investment. Second type of asset is current asset. An example of Sagohearty current asset is their inventories, sales, and cash, whether cash in hand or cash in bank. Our second business classification is liabilities. There are 2 types of liabilities, non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Non-current liabilities, loan debt repayment period is more than a year, which is also known as long-term liabilities. An example, mortgage on premises and long-term loan. Current liabilities, the loan debt repayment period is less than a year, which is also known as short-term liabilities. An example, account payable, short-term loan. Sagohearty does not have any liabilities, as they operate their business on a rented premises and purchase their inventories, stock by cash basis. Next, the business classification is owner's equity. Resources fund supplied by the owner to the business for the acquisition of asset. An example, capital and drawing. Drawing can be also considered as part for owner's equities. Capitals. Sagohearty Capital start with a group of people conducting their own fundraising where each individual contributed about 100 ringgit and started their capital of 300 ringgit in cash. Profit gain will be rolled in as their capital in order to extend their business size. As for drawing, Sagohearty have no record of drawing their capital or asset to date. Next is revenues. Sagohearty's main income is sales. There is no other business channel which contributing to their revenues. The last business classification is expenses. For Sagohearty, their expenses includes petrol, electricity bills, and costs of renting for their business operation. Salary payment to their staff and employee were also parts of the expenses. That's all from me. I will pass the screen to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Amisha Antasha. So today I will present about the recording process of the business and how they record its financial transaction. Accounting record are all of the documentation and books involved in the preparation of financial statement or record relevant to audit and financial reviews. So accounting record include record of asset and liabilities, monetary transaction, ledgers, journal, and any supporting documents such as check and invoice. Certain company required to keep the accounting record for several years in the event that they need to be reviewed. Accounting record are often reviewed for audit, compliance check, or other business related. After the reviews was held in the honor of Sagohearty found that they use a free application called Bookkeeping. This is the easiest invoice app for small business. One of the functions found in the Bookkeeping application is to record all the details about profit, losses, and data of customers who have ever bought Sagohearty product. Profit and loss will be automatically calculated in the application, so they do not need to list the financial data manually like before. When they just want to start this business, they just record all the financial record in the Excel manually, and that was quite difficult for them until they found this bookkeeping application. Okay, next, I will explain about the financial process of Sagohearty. The first step in the accounting circle is that they will identify the transaction. Companies will have many transactions throughout the accounting circle. Each one needs to be properly recorded on the company books. So record keeping is essential to record all type of transaction including customer database. So the next step is record all information in the journal entries for each transaction. For the Sagohearty company, they use the bookkeeping application just like what I said just now to facilitate it transaction saving, and they will review all information about the company's transaction in the application. After checking all the transaction in their company, when the trial balance is found to be incorrect, they will try to resolve the problem. And after the company makes all adjusting entries, then it will generate its financial statement. Finally, the company completes the accounting cycle by closing its books at the end of the day on the specific closing date, which is usually the end of the month. So the closing statement provide a report for performance analysis over the period. So that's all from me. So I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, I will continue with the strengths and weaknesses of recording the accounts for Sagohearty's company. As I listened to Mr. Nakib's answer, I can state a few of the strengths and weaknesses that Mr. Nakib faced during he recorded his company's account. I will go through the strength of the recording and account for Mr. Nakib's company first. Based on my intellectual thinking, I can see that Mr. Nakib was really motivated to do the recording because he really wanted to track all of his company's cash flow. With this action, he can check all his transactions in and out while he runs his own business. He also can prevent any shortage or leakage of the transaction happen from time to time. By recording the company's account, he said he can declare his income tax and may get the tax reduction by the government. Okay, that was for the strength. And next, we will go to the weaknesses that Mr. Nakib faced in recording his company's account. The weaknesses that Mr. Nakib faced in recording his company's account, Mr. Nakib said that there will always be an human error while recording the account, such as he forgot to key in a few transactions and discounted the amount of the actual money. Alright, from this human error, this can lead to the imbalanced account result. This is what Mr. Nakib really wants to improve, as he said he's still in his learning process to make it done perfectly. So, after the lesson was learned, maybe he can get his company's account balanced.
Alright, for the conclusion, so the company hopes that their Sagu Melaka will be one of the dessert menu at the McDonald's around Malaysia or maybe like across Malaysia. And Nakib also have a lot more to expose in this industry, and he was hoping to be one of the best dessert in Malaysia. Okay, so these are the contact numbers of Muhammad Nakib Hazid. Okay, and the Facebook Sagohearty and also the Instagram. Alright, so that's all from us. Thank you.